Welcome to the Stronger with Age podcast. Because aging is just the beginning. We are diving deep today into something I know you've been curious about.
Oh, yeah.
Longevity. We've got a really fascinating collection of articles and videos here,
Yeah.
all looking at what might predict a longer life,
Right.
especially as we move through our 70s and beyond.
Exactly.
Our goal is to really dig into these sources and pull out the most surprising and useful insights for you.
Absolutely. We've got everything from unexpected little clues that might point toward a century on this earth
Oh, wow.
to more scientifically established markers for longevity after 70.
Okay.
And even a research study that crunched the numbers on what helps older adults live longer.
Interesting.
It's a really rich set of information.
It is.
And we're here to help make sense of it all.
Yeah, help us make sense of what truly stands out.
Exactly.
Okay, let's unpack this. The 12 Surprising Signs You'll Live to 100 article had some real eyebrow raisers.
For sure.
One that jumped out at me was being the lice of the party.
Oh, interesting.
Apparently, research suggests that outgoing folks are a whopping 50% less likely to develop dementia.
Wow.
The thinking is that maybe lower levels of the stress hormone cortisol,
Okay.
perhaps linked to their more easygoing nature, could lead to more resilient brains.
Makes sense.
The article even tossed in meditation,
Oh, right.
black tea,
Okay.
and naps as ways to keep cortisol in check.
Yeah.
What strikes you about this connection between being sociable and living longer?
We know what's intriguing there is this potential pathway
Yeah.
linking personality traits
Yeah.
to actual brain health. This isn't just about enjoying social gatherings.
Right.
It hints at a deeper biological mechanism.
Interesting.
If, as the article suggests, lower cortisol,
Okay.
that's a hormone our bodies release when we're stressed, plays a role in protecting against dementia.
Right.
And if a more outgoing personality naturally leads to lower cortisol,
Wow.
that's a fascinating insight into how our disposition might influence our long-term brain health. And the tips for lowering cortisol are practical things we can all consider incorporating.
Absolutely. Another big one from the article was staying active.
Of course.
It talked about a study where middle-aged people who ran for 40 minutes a day ended up living longer and having better physical and mental sharpness as they aged.
Right.
What really caught my eye was that these runners didn't just have less heart trouble. They also had fewer instances of cancer neurological issues
Wow.
and even infections.
Really?
The researchers theorize that regular aerobic exercise helps keep the immune system younger.
Interesting.
Even shorter bursts of activity that get you breathing hard can be beneficial.
I like that.
How does this resonate with your own activity habits, and what types of exercise do you find you can stick with?
If we connect this to the established science, the benefits of regular aerobic exercise are really undeniable.
Yeah.
And this study seems to underscore that it's far-reaching.
Okay.
It's not just about your heart. It
Ah.
appears to have a systemic effect,
Right.
potentially bolstering our defenses against a whole range of age-related illnesses.
Wow.
The fact that even 20 minutes of more intense activity can be beneficial is good news.
Right.
For those of us who might struggle to fit in longer workouts.
Right.
It's a reminder that even small, consistent efforts can yield significant long-term rewards for our health.
Absolutely. I love that. Diet also popped up as a key factor.
Oh, for sure.
The article mentioned liking raspberries in your oatmeal as a simple way to pump up your fiber intake.
Okay.
Apparently, just adding 10 grams of fiber daily can cut your risk of dying from heart disease by 17%.
Wow, that's significant.
Fiber, as you know, is great for cholesterol, helps with how our bodies use sugar, insulin sensitivity, and can aid in weight management.
It really does.
The article also listed other fiber-rich foods like bran cereal lentils, black beans, sweet potatoes, and pears.
All good stuff.
Are you conscious of your daily fiber intake? And do any of these suggestions spark some ideas for you?
This really highlights the power of seemingly small dietary choices.
I think so too.
That statistic about a 17% reduction in heart disease risk
Right.
from just 10 extra grams of fiber is pretty compelling.
Yeah.
And as you said, the benefits of fiber extend beyond just heart health. Insulin sensitivity refers to how well our cells respond to insulin,
Okay.
which is crucial for regulating blood sugar.
Right.
Better sensitivity helps prevent things like type 2 diabetes.
Got it.
These examples are all practical and easy to weave into our daily meals.
Yeah.
It's a good reminder that focusing on nutrient-rich whole foods can have a profound impact on our long-term health.
Absolutely. Now, here's a really interesting one.
Okay.
Feeling about 13 years younger than your actual age.
Interesting.
A survey apparently found that older folks who were in good health often felt this way.
Hmm.
Researchers believe this youthful feeling might boost optimism and motivation,
Yeah.
which in turn could lower stress and strengthen the immune system,
Right.
ultimately reducing the risk of disease.
Makes sense.
Does this ring true for you at all? And how do you think our mindset plays into healthy aging?
What's fascinating here is the powerful link
Yeah.
between our subjective experience, how old we feel,
Okay.
and our actual physical health.
Interesting.
It suggests that a positive outlook isn't just a mental perk.
Right.
It can have tangible physiological benefits.
Uh-huh.
Lower stress and a more robust immune system are certainly key factors in staving off disease.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder how much of healthy aging is tied to maintaining a youthful spirit and a proactive mindset towards life.
I like that. Embracing technology was another unexpected sign mentioned.
Oh, really?
Learning to use things like Twitter or video calls can apparently keep brain cells sharp
Okay.
and help us stay socially connected.
Uh-huh.
Keeping up with friends, family, and what's going on in the world can make you feel more engaged and relevant.
Right.
Are you someone who tends to adopt new technology, and how do you see it affecting your social connections?
In today's world, this makes a lot of sense. Staying mentally and socially active is crucial for brain health as we age.
Wow.
And technology can be a fantastic tool for both.
Mm-hmm.
Learning new things, even something like navigating a new app,
Yeah.
can challenge our brains in positive ways.
Okay.
And of course, the ability to connect with loved ones who might live far away through video calls
Right.
can combat feelings of isolation, which we know can negatively impact health.
Absolutely. For women, the article noted that starting menopause later, after age 52, is linked to a longer lifespan, possibly because of a lower risk of heart disease.
Interesting.
While this is specific to one group,
Yes,
it highlights how different biological factors can play a role in longevity.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
This points to the complex interplay of hormones and overall health.
Uh-huh.
The timing of major biological events like menopause can have long-lasting effects on a woman's cardiovascular health and potentially her lifespan.
Wow.
It underscores that our individual biology is a significant piece of the longevity puzzle.
For sure. Making sure every calorie counts by focusing on nutrient-dense foods
Okay.
and keeping calorie intake within a certain range, around 1,400 to 2,000 a day,
Right.
and avoiding empty calories from things like white bread soda and candy,
Mm-hmm.
was found to make hearts function like those of people 15 years younger.
Wow.
The emphasis was on getting the most nutrition per calorie from vegetables,
Wow.
whole grains, lean proteins, and low-fat dairy.
Yeah.
How do your eating habits align with this kind of approach?
This really reinforces the idea of quality over quantity when it comes to food.
Absolutely.
It's not just about how much we eat,
Right.
but what we're eating.
Yeah.
Prioritizing foods packed with vitamins, minerals, and fiber while minimizing those that offer little nutritional value
Yeah.
makes a huge difference, particularly for our cardiovascular health.
Yep.
It's about fueling our bodies with what they need to thrive rather than just filling them up.
I like that. Here's another surprising one.
Okay.
Having a baby later in life, naturally after age 44, was associated with a 15% lower likelihood of dying after age 50,
Interesting.
compared to those who had babies before 40.
Okay.
Researchers speculate this could be a sign of healthy genes that also promote longevity.
That's a really intriguing correlation. It
Okay.
suggests that the ability to conceive and carry a healthy pregnancy at a later age might indeed be an indicator of a robust underlying biological system
Okay.
that is also geared towards a longer lifespan.
Okay.
It certainly raises interesting questions about the genetic factors involved in both fertility and longevity.
Yeah, that's fascinating.
Hmm.
The article also mentioned that a resting pulse rate closer to 60 beats per minute,
Okay.
which you can check by counting your pulse for 15 seconds,
Right.
and multiplying by 4 is generally healthier.
Right.
A slower pulse means the heart doesn't have to work as hard.
Mm-hmm.
What's your typical resting heart rate, and is this something you pay attention to?
In general, a lower resting heart rate does indicate a more efficient cardiovascular system. It often reflects good physical fitness and a healthy heart muscle.
Right?
While individual variations exist, keeping an eye on your resting heart rate can be a simple way
Yeah,
to monitor your overall cardiovascular health.
absolutely. Having a relatively flat belly after menopause was also linked to living longer. Excess abdominal fat, that's the fat around your organs,
Right.
is tied to a higher risk of earlier death.
Yeah.
The article suggested strength training omega-3 fatty acids and plenty of fruits and vegetables as ways to help manage waist circumference.
Yes, that visceral fat, the fat stored deep within the abdomen,
Okay.
is particularly concerning because it's metabolically active
Oh,
and can contribute to inflammation and various health problems.
wow.
Focusing on lifestyle changes like incorporating strength training and a nutrient-rich diet
Right.
is key for managing this type of fat and promoting overall health.
For sure. Finally, from this article, getting your blood checked for vitamin D levels is crucial.
Okay.
An optimal level is at least 30 nanograms per milliliter of blood. Many people are low in vitamin D,
Yeah.
and it's important not just for strong bones,
Uh-huh.
but might also play a role in reducing the risk of cancer, heart disease, and infections.
Wow.
The article did caution against taking too much vitamin D,
Okay.
as levels above 150 ngml can be harmful.
Right.
Have you had your vitamin D levels checked, and what are your thoughts on regular health screenings?
It's definitely important to be aware of your vitamin D levels as it plays a wider role in our health than just bone health.
Right.
Regular health screenings, including vitamin D checks when appropriate, can help us identify potential deficiencies and address them under the guidance of a healthcare professional.
For sure.
The caution against excessive supplementation underscores the importance of not overdoing it
Yeah,
and working with your doctor to determine the right course of action.
absolutely. Moving on to the YouTube video, 7 signs that predict how long you'll live after 70.
Okay.
We see some connections, but also some new angles.
Interesting.
One of the top signs mentioned is walking speed. Apparently, maintaining a brisk pace in your 70s and beyond is a strong indicator of overall health, muscle strength, heart function, and even brain health.
Wow.
A slower pace might signal underlying issues. The video pointed out that walking speed can often be improved with regular walking and exercises for your legs.
Right.
Have you noticed any shifts in your walking speed, and does this encourage you to get moving more?
This really reinforces the importance of maintaining physical function as we age.
Absolutely.
Walking speed isn't just about how fast you can move.
Right.
It's a measure of several key bodily systems working together.
Yeah.
The fact that it's something we can actively influence through exercise is empowering.
I agree.
It suggests that even small increases in our daily activity can have a positive impact on our long-term health and vitality.
I like that. Another key predictor highlighted in the video is grip strength.
Okay.
A firm handshake is suggested as a sign of strong muscles, good circulation, and a well-functioning nervous system.
Makes sense.
A weakening grip could be an early warning sign of muscle loss and frailty.
Oh, wow.
Simple exercises like squeezing a tennis ball or using hand grippers can help keep your grip strong.
Right.
Have you ever considered your grip strength as a health marker?
It's interesting how something we might not consciously think about can actually tell us quite a bit
Yeah.
about our overall health.
Uh-huh.
Grip strength really does reflect the strength of our muscles, but as the video points out,
Yeah.
it also involves the health of our circulatory and nervous systems.
Okay.
It's a good reminder that maintaining muscle mass and function is crucial as we age.
Right.
And there are simple exercises we can do to support that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Your ability to stand on one leg for at least 10 seconds
Okay.
was also flagged as a predictor of longevity.
Interesting.
Good balance relies on strong legs,
Mm-hmm.
a sharp nervous system, and a healthy brain.
Uh-huh.
Difficulty with balance increases your risk of falls,
Right.
which can lead to injuries and even cognitive decline. The video suggested exercises like single leg stands, heel-to-toe walking, or Tai Chi to improve balance.
Yeah.
How confident are you in your balance, and is this something you think about working on?
This is a really practical indicator. Balance is so fundamental to our independence and quality of life as we age.
Absolutely.
Difficulty with balance can significantly increase the risk of falls,
Right.
which can have serious consequences.
Yeah.
The exercises mentioned are excellent ways to proactively work on our balance
Okay.
and strengthen the underlying systems that support it.
I like it.
It's definitely something worth paying attention to.
For sure. Sleeping patterns after 70 were also emphasized.
Right.
Consistent high-quality sleep is linked to longer and healthier lives in this age group.
Uh-huh.
Poor sleep can increase the risk of memory issues, heart problems, and a weakened immune system.
Makes sense.
The video recommended reducing screen time before bed, sticking to a regular sleep schedule, and getting morning sunlight to help regulate sleep.
Yeah.
How would you rate your sleep quality, and are there any adjustments you could try making?
Sleep is absolutely crucial for our overall health.
It really is.
And this becomes even more important as we age.
Mm-hmm.
As the video points out, it affects so many aspects of our well-being,
Right.
from our cognitive function to our immune system.
Yeah.
The tips provided are all evidence-based strategies for improving our sleep hygiene and getting the restful sleep we need.
Okay, good tips. Appetite and eating habits after 70 were another key point.
Okay.
A healthy appetite and a balanced diet are vital for maintaining overall health.
For sure.
A sudden loss of appetite or consistently poor eating habits can be a sign of underlying health issues.
Right.
The video stressed the importance of nutrient-rich foods and staying well hydrated.
Yeah.
Have you noticed any changes in your appetite or eating patterns lately?
It's important to recognize that changes in appetite in older adults shouldn't be ignored.
Okay.
As the video suggests, they can sometimes be an early indicator of a health problem that needs attention. Maintaining a focus on nutrient-dense foods and adequate hydration remains crucial for supporting our health and preventing frailty as we age.
Absolutely. The video also highlighted how you handle stress after 70 as a predictor.
Okay.
Chronic stress can weaken the immune system and increase the risk of age-related diseases.
Right.
Effective stress management through things like mindfulness exercise or hobbies can contribute to a longer, healthier life.
For sure.
How would you describe your go-to stress management techniques?
This really connects back to our earlier discussion about cortisol.
Yeah.
Chronic stress has significant physiological effects.
Right.
And learning healthy ways to manage it is vital for protecting our long-term health and well-being. Especially as we get older.
Okay.
Finding activities that help us relax and de-stress is an important part of healthy aging.
I like that. Finally, from the video, social connections were emphasized.
Oh, yeah.
And strong relationships and being involved in your community are linked to longer, healthier lives.
It really is. Loneliness, on the other hand, is associated with higher risks of various health problems.
Wow.
Staying connected with friends and family and participating in social activities are beneficial.
Right.
How would you rate the strength of your social connections?
This reinforces what we learned from the first article about the benefits of being sociable. Strong social ties provide emotional support,
Right.
Reduce feelings of isolation, and can even influence our physical health.
Wow.
Maintaining these connections and actively participating in our communities is a really important aspect of healthy aging.
Absolutely. Now let's dive into the research study. Who live longer than their age peers? Individual predictors of longevity among older individuals.
Okay.
This study looked at data from older adults over a long period, up to 35 years,
Wow.
to identify what predicted living longer than expected,
Okay.
based on average lifespans as well as their actual probability of dying.
Right.
What's particularly valuable about this study is its long-term perspective. Yeah, I agree.
Following a group of older adults for such an extended period gives us a more robust understanding of the factors that truly contribute to longevity.
For sure.
The study pinpointed several important predictors, including things like marital status,
Okay.
how many years someone had smoked regularly, their mobility, how they rated their own health,
Interesting.
whether they had endocrine and metabolic diseases like diabetes, respiratory diseases,
Right.
and even something described as unwillingness to do things or lack of energy, which the researchers suggested could be linked to feelings of depression.
Oh, wow.
These findings really highlight the interconnectedness of various aspects of our health and lifestyle with longevity. The impact of smoking and chronic diseases like diabetes and respiratory issues aligns with what we already know, but the inclusion of self-rated health
Okay.
and that sense of energy or willingness to engage really underscores the importance of both our physical and mental well-being in predicting how long we might live.
It really does.
What was interesting, though, was that even with all these factors, the study found they could only explain a relatively small amount, around 14%, of the differences in how long people lived.
Really?
The researchers suggested that the random nature of aging and death, as well as changes in health that happened after the initial measurements, could explain this.
That's a crucial point.
Yeah.
It reminds us that while we can identify certain risk factors and protective factors, predicting the lifespan of an individual with certainty is still very challenging.
Okay.
There are likely many complex and even random biological processes at play that influence how long we live.
Makes sense. But even with that uncertainty, the study did reinforce the importance of things like our social standing, our ability to function physically, and whether or not we smoke for overall longevity in the population.
Exactly. While we can't perfectly predict an individual's lifespan,
Right.
this research does provide strong evidence that on a larger scale, addressing social disparities,
Okay.
promoting functional independence, and reducing harmful behaviors like smoking
Yeah.
can significantly impact overall life expectancy in older populations.
Absolutely. We also looked at an article from the Harvard Gazette
Okay.
that identified 8 key social factors that could predict mortality within just 4 years
Wow.
for adults aged 65 and older.
Okay.
These included things like poor neighborhood cleanliness,
Mm,
feeling like you have little control over your finances,
right.
seeing your children less than once a year, not working for pay,
Mm.
not being active with your children, not volunteering,
Wow.
feeling isolated and feeling like you're treated with less courtesy or respect.
Interesting.
This really emphasizes how much our social environment and how we feel we're treated can impact our longevity.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on these social factors?
These findings are really powerful because they highlight that our health and how long we live aren't just about our individual biology and lifestyle choices.
Okay.
They're deeply embedded in our social context factors, like our sense of financial security. Our connections with family and community, and even the environment we live in can have a profound impact on our well-being and our longevity, especially in later life.
Interesting.
It underscores the importance of social support and feeling valued and connected.
Absolutely. The National Institute on Aging, the NIA, also offers some valuable insights on healthy aging.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
They really emphasize the things we have some control over, like exercise, eating a healthy diet, specifically mentioning the Mediterranean and Mind diets, which are rich in fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and healthy fats.
Right.
Getting enough sleep, limiting alcohol, and being proactive about our health care.
Yeah.
They also stress the importance of our mental health, managing stress, and staying socially connected.
The NIA's recommendations really bring together many of the key themes we've been discussing.
Yeah.
Their focus on modifiable lifestyle factors reinforces that we have agency in our own aging process.
I like that.
And their explicit mention of mental well-being and social connections highlights the holistic approach needed for healthy longevity.
Right.
It's about nurturing our minds and our relationships as well as our bodies.
Absolutely. Finally, the Health Changes to Expect in Your 70s article from WebMD gave an overview of some normal age-related changes that can happen in various body systems, like our brain, heart, skin, bones, sleep, immune system, and senses.
Makes sense.
While these are typical changes, the article often included advice on how to lessen any negative effects through healthy habits.
Right.
It's a good reminder that understanding these changes can help us prepare and take proactive steps for healthy aging.
This article provides a really useful and practical perspective.
Right.
By outlining some of the typical physiological shifts we might experience in our 70s, understanding what to expect can help us be more proactive in managing our health and adopting strategies to mitigate potential challenges. It's about adapting and taking care of ourselves in light of these natural changes.
Absolutely. Let's unpack this. It's clear that living a long and healthy life is a complex mix of our genes, how we live our social connections, and even our mindset.
It really is.
While we can't know exactly how many years we'll have, these sources give us a lot of information about the things we can influence to improve our health and well-being as we age.
Here's where it gets really interesting. So many of these surprising signs and the more scientifically backed predictors keep pointing us in the same direction. Stay active, nourish your body well. Nurture strong relationships, manage stress effectively, and keep engaging with the world around you. It really isn't just about adding more years to your life, but about making those years as full and vibrant as possible.
Absolutely. So what does this all mean for you? Take a moment to think about these different factors we've explored. Which ones really stand out to you in relation to your own life? Are there any areas where you feel motivated to make some adjustments? Consider how your social interactions, your level of physical activity, your food choices, your sleep habits, how you manage stress, and even how you use technology might be playing a role in your own journey towards longevity.
Here's a final provocative thought for you. Considering that feeling younger seems to be linked to better health and a longer life. How consciously are you working on cultivating that youthful mindset? And what small steps could you take to further boost that feeling of vitality each day?
Okay, I guess there you have it for today. We hope you liked this episode. Stay tuned for more exciting podcast episodes in the future. Bye.